Well, before becoming a lawyer, I worked for a government agency that was involved in bettering the environment. I've kind of been a public servant by heart. And after I went to law school, I wanted to find a career that would give me that same feeling of being a part of something that made a difference, a part of something that was good. And I came here and I worked for free as a licensed attorney with the civil division for a couple months until an opening came around. And I interviewed and was hired. It's getting justice for the victims who can't protect themselves. When you're dealing with cases of abuse against children by or domestic partners by loved ones, you often they feel either fear of retaliation if they were to testify, or they love them. It's mom, it's dad, it's my husband, it's my boyfriend. So a lot of times you come across the you get that roadblock where you want to help them, but they just can't help themselves. So those cases, I think, are kind of the most rewarding when you're able to help them out of a position that they're in and they just can't find their way out of. I think one of the hardest parts, or the most difficult parts, is that even after a child predator or a rapist or a murderer has gone to prison, it's knowing that those scars are still going to be there. The impact of their actions, of their crimes, are going to live on, and the child is still going to be scarred. The loved one is still gone. So, I like to hopefully think that we can start the healing process for the family and the victims of serious and horrible crimes. Sometimes the children are too young to be able to tell us what happened, and then sometimes, when they're not too young to tell us what happened, we're now asking this child to, trust us when they've just had these horrible experiences at the hands of a loved one. The case went to trial, and this is a case with, you don't have any DNA, you don't have any witnesses, so here's this little, this child who has to get up, and not only face her rapist, her stepfather, who she loved at one point. Now she has to also look at 12 strangers in a jury box and tell them all these horrible details about what happened to them, what happened to her, what was done to her by her stepfather. The strength in that child, and the bravery, the ability to kind of just tell us what happened. I mean, ultimately, we secured a conviction, and he was sentenced to life in prison. I think the biggest misconception, and we still see it, is we just want a conviction, or we just want to send people to prison. And, I don't approach cases with the thought of, well, how long can I get in prison for this person? My goal is to help people, help victims, help their families, hopefully help the community. And, sometimes that means helping the defendant. Sometimes the defendant is a son or daughter who has a drug addiction. And it doesn't mean, sending to prison is the answer or the solution or justice. Sometimes it means, getting them to a program where they can receive treatment, whether it's for mental health, drug addiction, anger management. So it's about looking at the big picture and seeing what does justice look like in this case.